Hello, this Ironhead 41. I'm going to try to make a long story short, and I know I'm going to have to rush through this. I get a lot of questions about prepping and when I started prepping and all this stuff. And I've told this story to a lot of my Skype friends, and they said, you know, I should do a YouTube video about it and really share it with everybody. So I'm going to. Here we go. And if you don't think prepping pays and having some food storage, I tell you what, it does pay. It does pay. Do not sell yourself short and don't fool yourself. In 1986, shut up, dogs. In 1986, me and my wife, we've been together about a year or so, year and a half or so. And, of course, we're a young couple. We're starting out, living paycheck to paycheck, renting a little one-bedroom apartment and all. And she came up pregnant. Alright, back in the 80s, it was we did have a pretty hard recession. We really did. I was getting anywhere from 25 to 30 hours a week at the time. And I took her to the doctor. This was on a Thursday. I was off work anyway. We already got like 28 hours already in those 3 days. So I took her to the doctor, and doctor, you know, was telling us how much it's going to cost, delivery and everything, the hospital and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, I can't afford that. Couldn't afford health insurance being on short time. And the doctor suggested, said, why don't you go to the health department and apply, and if you qualify, they'll pay for the whole thing except for $200. Yeah, but I had to pay the $200 before the baby's born. I'm like, well, that sounds like a good idea. So we went to the health department, applied, and got denied. Why did we get denied? I was making $5.25 an hour, but they base it automatically on 40 hours a week. So we got denied. So now the next day, Friday, I told my wife, I said, I'm going job looking, because we're going to have the health department to help us, because we can't afford it. I mean, we don't have $1,000. We're a young couple living week to week. So I found a job at a cotton mill, working third shift, making $3.80 an hour. So I called my boss man up that same day, that Friday, and I said, look, I'm going to have to quit for a few weeks, but as soon as I need to draw a check stub from this other company I'm getting ready to go to work for on Monday, I said I'll come back, and as soon as I get a check stub and get qualified health department, I'll come back to work in construction, because I love construction. I can't stand being inside. I'm trying to go quick. He said, ain't no problem. So now, because that job holds back a week, I'm still going to draw a check the next Friday, which is pretty good, except the job I just took to start, it pays every 2 weeks, and I fell in between a pay week, so it's going to be 3 weeks before I get paid. So now I'm getting a check next Friday, but that check's going to have to last us for 2 solid weeks, and it's only 28 hours at $5.25 an hour, and that really sucks. So that ain't no big deal. We decided we'll eat macaroni and tomatoes for 2 weeks. No big deal, as long as I got gas in the car. All right, get back and forth to work. So then a buddy of mine on that Saturday actually came up, and he said, look, me and my mama got in an argument. She kicked me out, and I need a place to stay. I started a brand new job Monday at a chair factory, and they hold back a week. So he'll get paid in 2 weeks. And I said, I'll tell you what we'll do. If you want to, you can come stay with us several weeks, you know, until he finds his own apartment. And I said, this coming Friday, I get a check from my last job, and I'll put gas in your car and buy the groceries for you. But then that next Friday, the second week, I said, you get paid. You buy the groceries for all 3 of us, and put gas in my car for me to get back and forth to work. All right, no problem. That Friday comes. The next Friday comes, and I put gas in his car and bought the groceries and all. Everything's going good. Everything's fine. Then the next Friday, he's gone. Here me and my wife is sitting there. She's pregnant. We got no food and no money. Ain't that something? That's true. That is absolutely true. My brother loaned me, I think, $10 so I can put gas in my car. Went to my parents' house, and they gave us, not saying nothing bad about my parents, but whatever, anything that was freezer burnt in the bottom of the freezer. And that's what we ate that entire week. No kidding. Until I draw that paycheck. So if you don't think prepping pays, to even just to have 1 week's worth of food. I mean, like I said, we were young. We didn't, you know, we were very young. Very young. Well, anyway, prepping does pay. Have at least a week's worth extra. Okay, so we made a vow right then. This would never ever happen again. So when we moved from there, because now we got a daughter that's born, and when we moved from there, we rented a 3-bedroom house. Moved there about like 9 months later, or 10 months, about a year later. And it took a full truck bed of nothing but boxes of food. We already had a year's worth of food stored in 1987 for my family. And then about 8 years after that, when we bought this place where we're at, it took a truck and a trailer load. We already had about 5 years worth of food already then. You see what I'm saying? So having a good food supply is really, really necessary, because sometimes not only it could be economic, it could be you could get swindled. That is a true prepping story. I got another one coming up. That's it. Stop. Stop.